I'll make this quick. Once upon a time, I started taking time lapses of my work, and then I decided to turn them into an organized project. And the next thing I know, I am documenting most of what I do. Now here I am talking into a microphone, and here we go. So this is what I started with. As most outlines usually go, it has enough detail to know the layout, but not so much that it is confusing. I began with a light sky blue before bringing back that outline, and since I just couldn't help myself, I took a palette knife to it when I brought out that darker hue. Here I go, brushing in some cooler, almost greenish blues. I tried to have some form of temperature difference between the two pieces in each pair of panels. This gave me the opportunity to have an exercise in color temperature, which is, it's always fun. And it challenged me to make each pair unique in something beyond just the structure, which is just great, because if you don't know this about me already, I do indeed love a challenge in my field of study. Closest thing I can relate it to is, well, maybe a shot of adrenaline. That'll about do it. Anywho, moving on. The rest of the time I spent outside on this piece was touching up the first layer. Just those odds and ends, balancing lights and darks, making sure no part of the panel was missing any paint. Now we're at the point when I switched the color choice of the pair, and having already completed her sister, it was easier to work with this panel. Here I really just kind of dove headfirst into those darker hues. I mixed sap green, Prussian blue, and maybe one other color, but I don't really think so. Around this point, I really started to have a lot of fun. I think I sat and did this portion of the time lapse for a good 4 or 5 hours. Interestingly enough, those hours were spent simplifying the detail of the work and putting more focus on the plane of each surface that makes up the structure of the image. Looking back at this before image, it brings on the thought that sometimes you have to break down the messy complexities of an abstract subject in the perhaps endless search of its core essence. Sorry, what were we talking about? So remember one time when I started off making the videos for this series and I said that it was really fun, and then I trailed off and did a thing and I was like, for the most part, well... So right here I tried to come in with some lights, and while doing this I felt like Icarus with his wings of wax, because I just mixed this beautiful gradation palette and had screwed up the utilization of it on the first go. In other words, I flew too close to the sun. After a little bit I saw that this was a problem. It was a problem that I had to fix. But what is a problem? A problem is a challenge. So I pondered. I thought while it works, I kept asking how I could turn this to my advantage. Soon enough, I came to the realization that this little mess up only looked like a mess up because it wasn't an aesthetic outlier. In other words, it didn't stand out uniquely without taking away from the balance of the image. Oh, right there, it looks like I knocked over the camera. Anyways, in order to bring back that balance that I had lost for a bit, I went back in on the reflected areas of the piece, making them brighter and brighter. However, I did this slowly and carefully, being sure that I controlled my excitement and did not make the same mistake as last time. You'll see that I only gave certain highlights to certain parts of the piece in order to keep that balance of light and dark. Remember, that's key for me, balance, with exceptions. But there were none here.